Greetings, this is Nestico for Artifact.game community, and we're here again to take you through some content in the game of Artifact. Today we're going to check out the Call to Arms release event. In this event, Valve challenges you to play one of 6 pre-constructed decks and see how long a streak you can get going. One of our community leaders is 8 wins in with this Green Machine deck, so let's check it out. Idea of this deck is to get up to your big creatures and play them with some ramp so you get there quick. We got Thunderhide Alpha 25/25 for 9. It is a big dinosaur. Cheating Death is a cool improvement. Helps you keep a board alive by giving everything a 50% chance to basically be unkillable, coming back at 1 health if it would die. Savage Wolf is a signature card that comes along with Lycan. One of my favorites. It grows as it survives. It can create a lot of pressure. These are big creatures that we have to get out quick. As I said, there's some ramp in this deck. Selmani's Favor and Stars Align are 2 that we just hovered over real quick. They get you extra mana that much faster, so that you can get those big guys out that much faster. Taking a look at the hero, as I mentioned, Savage Wolf comes with Lycan. He also buffs the critters on either side of him. Treant Protector, Dark Seer, has the ability to move somebody from one lane to the next. Drow Ranger, one of the strongest, if not the strongest hero in the game, buffs your creatures, heroes, everything in every lane, and her Gust spell is fantastic. And then Abaddon, whose primary function is essentially to never die. Taking a look at the items, Reptile Signet Ring means that even if any of your stuff does die, it doesn't give all that much gold. Assassin's Veil lets you target those big critters that you're going to have on your board. Barbed Mail gives some more Retaliate. Stonehall Pike helps you grow your attack. And then we got 1 Blink Dagger, which is usually a 3 of in a deck that like a human would make. Human, I guess Valve, they're humans too, guys. But only put 1 in this deck, probably because we have the Dark Seer, which kind of acts as a Blink Dagger in and of himself. So we're going to get to it. Like I said, 8 win streak on our main goal 1860. Let's see if we can grow that over. We see a mirror match, mono green versus mono green. The initial opponent is called the Fog. It's pretty even here. We're maybe a little ahead, arguably. That Lycan's on a 2-turn clock. Here, kind of the opposite's going on. So we got our Lycan on a 2-turn clock, and then we've got some tree-on-tree action in the 3rd lane. All the heroes matching up against each other. That's a little unusual. Let's see us speed up time a little bit to cut down on some of the waiting. Nothing to play yet. You can see in our hand, nothing costs less than 4. And we're on mana turn 3. Alright, we're going to see a play by our opponent. Kind of a weird one. He's going to Stars Align, which gives him extra mana. And then he's going to cast a Selmani's Favor on this lane, which gives him extra mana permanently. He can cast that from one lane to another, so unless he's going to play something in every single lane this turn, which I don't think is the case, he could have cast that from the left lane to the right and had the same effect. He didn't use any of the mana that he gained from the Selmani's Favor, so essentially he's making it for this turn. He could have just waited, cast that from a different lane, and had 6 mana this turn, and a Stars Align, potentially even played out a Thunderhide pack on turn 2, which would suck for us, so I guess thanks are in order. We're deciding where to put this Drow this turn. Going with the right, and I believe that the other guy does the same thing. Alright, we have initiative, so we're going first. We have that Ion Shell we could cast. Both heroes are dying anyway. The Retaliate's not going to give us anything extra. We could throw down a Roseleaf Druid, but I think the plan is to save that for later. That leaves us with a Salamania's Favor. We could cast in another lane. Gust, probably a little bit early for. Don't need to silence anything he has coming out necessarily yet.
15 seconds remaining.
So we are going to go with the Salamania's Favor. Mid or right is the call. Right will give us parity with the other guy, but we're going to go mid. That'll open up Cheating Death to cast into that right lane potentially. Alright, he's going to steal Strength. That's sad. So 2 Strength, or is it 4? 4 Strength. Go from one hero to the other, giving him a huge advantage so we don't kill his Lycan. He does kill our Darkseer, which is a feels bad, man. Alright, we have another trade here going on. Thinking about maybe doing a cross lane play of that Cheating Death. Nothing over here in right lane is dying just yet, though. So it looks like we're gonna
15 seconds
decide
remaining.
to do it here, which gives us a 50-50 chance of coming out ahead in this exchange. Our Lycan could survive. We're playing against another mono green deck, so if he does survive, mono green doesn't have a lot of tools to do things like chip damage or AoE, things that could take a hero out in any other fashion besides combat. So as long as he's still alive, there's hope that he'll continue to do work for us on that lane. Alright, waiting for our opponent to do something. I'd say this lane is sort of a wash, sort of a mirror match at the moment. We've got a Rebel Decoy tool that we could deploy. Doesn't seem to get us a whole lot just yet, although that Savage Wolf is a concern. It's going to get stronger each turn that it's there. We could Rebel Decoy, swap one of our heroes into it, and make sure that it dies, but instead we're going to go with the Ion Shell. It gives us a really good chance of taking out that Drow. I like that because it means the whole board on his side has one less attack than ours. So our Drow is still alive. We got some gold. We can pick up this Bard Mail. And Reptile Signet Ring. I like having a healing item in reserve, and that Barb Mail will be a nice nasty surprise for him later. Alright, so we're both putting down Abaddons. Or Abaddons, depending on which side of the pronunciation argument you fall on. There's an argument for left, because we don't have a hero there. We'd like to get our spells down, and that's what we're going to go with. I'm guessing he's going middle. It's maybe the best choice, but certainly it's where he's missing a hero, and the compulsion to keep your lanes healthy is strong, especially at first. Alright, so we got that Lycan curving into the Abaddon, or Abaddon, and that could potentially be a good thing, because, as I said, Abaddon's main function is not dying, and he's got a lot of ways to affect his survival. As such, we maybe don't need to worry. Okay, he's got a Cheating Death going, which maybe saves this creep, which we're not a fan of. So we're going to actually use our Rebel Decoy here. It does threaten lethal on that Lycan, because it gets the +1 attack from the Drow in the lane. He's going to heal it up. Now, swapping with our Abaddon isn't going to kill him right away, but potentially we can use some cards in our hands to make sure it does. We got the Aphotic Shield as an option. We also have this Barbed Mail that we picked up, which, in addition to preventing 1 damage with some armor, it'll also do less damage, and we're going to put down this Aphotic Shield as well. So between the two of them, that gives us 4 Retaliate, which plus 5 damage from Abaddon is enough to kill him, and he didn't have any way to save it because he was out of items. So not a whole lot.
Helping myself. I'm
helping here. So he's going to put that Selfish Cleric down in an attempt to kill our Lycan. We could save it with the Reptile Signet Ring, or we could rely on the kindness of our Cheating Death. So the Signet Ring is what we're going to go with. So got 7 mana. We can put a Rose Leaf down, but again, I think he's saving that for the 3rd lane. A lot of reason to Gust here. Not a lot of reason to steal Strength. So I'm thinking we pass. Nope, I was mistaken. Looks like Rose Leaf Druid is a consideration. There we go. That's kind of nice because if we draw one of our big dinosaurs next turn, we can definitely play it. We will have 9 mana, which is enough even for the Thunderhide Alpha. Another Savage Wolf. This is getting rather out of control. I believe our boy Goal is going to make a Steel Strength play, which I really like. He's going to kind of get 2 birds with 1 stone here, take 4 attack away from that Treant Protector that's on their side, which will save our Treant Protector, excuse me. And also kill his wolf, and all we sacrifice is a lowly melee creature. So we still have that other wolf developing on the right side, but we got some time to deal with it now at least. 16 gold, Stonehill Pike. A Take being considered. Don't know if we need it just yet, especially with the Darkseer coming in.
15 seconds remaining.
And he's going to go with the Fountain Flask. I like that. So if we put the Darkseer left, we can shift that Abaddon over if we want. We could also just directly put our Darkseer to the right. We'd only have about a 50-50 chance. Actually less than that. No, 50-50 of landing in front of that wolf, which is what we would want. But when we go with it, and Lady Luck is shining on us, where does it go? Oh, that's what we like to see, right in front of that wolf. Alright, so a little bit of gamble really paid off there. That should help stabilize that one. Okay, we do have lethal on that drow if combat proceeds.
Good. I want to be
or we
around
did.
as long as I can.
Even if we did, it would potentially be saved by that cheating death 50% of the time. So we could throw another. We throw an ion shell down on him. We're gonna give him the pike first, so that'll threaten lethal again. He doesn't have any items, but he has a rebel decoy, so that should be able to save his drow. Thinking about a selfish cleric. First of all, gonna keep our Abaddon healthy. I like that because that means we get to see what he's gonna do. We can assume that he was gonna cast the rebel decoy, but if he had another play, he might have tried to hold the swap. Just again, see what we were gonna do. Probably not a gust moment because he's pretty much out of mana. Alright. Saved his drought, costed his decoy. Here we're not doing too bad.
15 seconds remaining.
At this point we're really starting to just think about when his big critters are going to come down, because we know that that's what his deck likes to do. The fact that we haven't drawn any yet is very concerning. More concerning that he decided to concede here. I'm really not sure why, but I guess our win streak's up to 9, so let's go find another match. I honestly couldn't tell you what went into that. But this appears to be the same person, so obviously that was the case. This time he's piloting the red-blue deck. A lot of powerful cards in this one. Features Meepo. He is a rare hero who's rather clowny and difficult to use. You can make multiple copies of him, and if you kill one, they all die. But they can be kind of squirrely, hard to get your hands on because they have an ability that deals some damage and also moves them around. So much of this green deck's strength is in the combat phase, and so this Meepo character might be hard to lock down. So that's something we want to watch out for. We do have 3 gusts, and it's one of the stronger spells against Meepo because you can just silence him and
15
catch him in
seconds
compromising
remaining.
position that way. Also, the red aspect of the deck, the centaur and the axe, gonna give us maybe a little run for our money on the board where we're very strong.
But I will be ready.
Okay, went ahead with the retaliate here. That puts the centaur on a 2-turn clock, whereas it wasn't gonna really help us in the other 2 lanes. So putting a retaliate here wasn't going to, putting an ion shell here wasn't going to do anything. And same thing here, we're not speeding up the death clock on that Luna. Okay, no money to purchase. And where do we want the drow? There's nowhere that she's in imminent danger because the red heroes are all already occupied. We could put it middle with the hope that she'll curve into that axe and maybe speed up his timer. We don't really want him to curve into the centaur on the left lane because he'll get some retaliate damage. But we're going to go right again. I don't think this is where we're going to see the other guy's ogre because he already has blue in that lane. And I would think that he'd want to open up. But then again, we could also just put the ogre on the right. I'd say that's good for us. He's probably going to lose his Luna this turn, and I guess he wanted to cast blue from that lane. But I'm just curious about that because he could have put it in either of the other 2 lanes and probably not had a much chance of losing it right away. And then he could have cast blue from one of his other lanes. So. We got a stars line we could do to open up a cheating death if we wanted. Probably not at the moment unless we're really into saving that tree, but we're going to go with the ion shell instead. Let's lose our man Darkseer. Quite a bit of retaliation to laugh with all the way to the bank. We got that centaur down. Losing our tree this round.
The wind, the high branches.
Okay. Stars line looks like we are going to go for the cheating.
There is nothing.
Alright, so that'll give us a 50-50 to hold on to this tree. Or it will get smashed right away. Smash their defenses, condemns an improvement card, lets him draw a card, and that is a big feels bad, man. One of those cards that you do want to be sure you're playing around. We put a lot of resources into that cheating death. To just have it taken away and give him a card draw like that is real bad. You'll notice that the other guy's got 7 cards in his hand while we are rocking a meager 3.
I know my priorities.
Alright. Putting the cleric next to the Lycan gave him an additional 2 attack plus the additional 1 attack from the drow, which means that our little priest guy is able to take out his mighty ogre hero. And there we see Meepo coming down with Meepo's signature card, which just summons another Meepo. So there's another Meepo coming in naturally this round, and if we kill either one of them, they will both die. So that's something. A couple Reptile Signet rings as well as a Barbed Mail coming out for our hero. Alright, so I'm going to guess we're going to hit the Abba mid, so you don't have a hero there. Abba's one of the guys that can actually stand up to that axe, and as it stands, it's a 100% chance he's going to land in front of that axe. Wouldn't be terribly surprised to see that Meepo go to the left because he can protect him with his poof ability, which lets him move combat spots and also does, I think it's 2 damage to the enemy neighbors. And in fact, yes, it's 2 damage. So that is going to kill our poor Darkseer here. He's done such a hero service. Unless we put a Reptile Signet ring on him right now. Right now. We're going to surge the creep instead.
15 seconds remaining.
The battlefield.
Not sure about that one. Is this anything we wanted here to die? Could have also been baiting him into taking that play instead of poofing him out over to the right lane. I can't remember what the health was like on the right, so maybe that wouldn't have been very good for us if he had decided to do that. But we see another United We Stand coming down, so we got 2 meepos to deal with in that lane. Another way of looking at it is that we've got 1 more meepo we can kill in that left lane. So hopefully we can affect that change on the board later. So the Axe and the Abba kind of duking it out. That's sort of what we want. We can always make the Abba a little healthier. Looks like we're going to put some Retaliate on. The thing to note is that Retaliate is separate damage source. So you see the Axe has 2 armor, and so he's going to affect that 2 armor on the 5 attack from our Abba, and he's also going to affect it on the 2 Retaliate from the barbed armor. So he's going to -2 from the 5 from the attack, so that's 3 damage, and that's what you see on his health pool. And then he's also going to -2 from the Retaliate, because that's separate. So actually the barbed armor is not doing anything damage-wise. It is providing some armor to our Abaddon, but... Other than that, I think this lane's going fine. That Axe is effectively doing nothing at the moment, except opening up red cards, of course. Kind of an unfortunate arrow. I think we'd rather start hitting the tower with our Drow, and right now that little creep is on the right side, soaking up 9 of our damage. We're gonna put some tower damage in. I think we were hoping to curve that creep, that cleric to the right, so we can get that meepo, especially since his proof ability is down. But alas. Okay, so Dimensional Portal actually does nothing for our opponent here. He's actually doing us a favor by making our Drow not waste her damage into the creep that was already going to die anyway. So that takes out 1. He gave a combat target for our cleric, which wasn't doing what we wanted him to anyway, and the net result is he got 1 melee creep on the lane. So that was a real question mark. That was a big help for us. Okay, we're gonna get that Assassin's Veil, which would be a really helpful tool against a meepo if we can catch a hero anywhere in the neighborhood and unable to poof away. So everything's looking okay, especially with that play on the right that happened last time, so I'm guessing this tree's gonna go left for us. No, it's gonna go right. My mistake. I think this is okay. We're essentially giving up that left lane, and holy smokes, does he have a lot of creeps there. A lot of heroes, even. So nothing we can do here, but, you know, they're blue, so what are they really going to do? A little bit of chip damage. Whoa, we're going fast. Okay, let's slow down. Okay, Double Edge is going to give Axe a lot of attack and minus a lot of armor, so basically he's trying to trade with our Abaddon while his shield is down. I like that. I think that's okay. Do we have anywhere to save him particularly, so we'll just trade out. So I think that's fine. We still have a pretty wide board, and we can throw some heroes back on that later. This meepo's looking to die, so he's probably going to get poofed away. That's our phase right now, so yeah, gusting will prevent that. That's why Gust very strong versus Meepo. He can still play items though, so we may see him do that.
I won't let you down.
Oof. There it is. Okay. Here's where my man should be holding initiative, because he has it right now. He's going to act first. Oof. Stars align. That's hurtful. I assume he's going to play that Savage Wolf. Yeah. Okay. So there's it's a nice little play. You take out that creep that's on the right side because of the extra damage you get from Drought Aura on the Savage Wolf, and you can start developing that Savage Wolf. But we have another Gust in our hand, and I feel like what we wanted to do was get a hero in front of one of those Meepos in the left lane, like this Darkseer who has the damage to kill a Meepo, and just Gust and try again to take out their Meepo horde. The other guy probably... Well, he only's got 2 gold, so yeah, he's got 1 item in his hand, which he may be able to use. Well, again, we had those Assassin's Veils, so if we land in front of one of the Meepos, which we did, and we're able to Gust, we could then redirect, and he saved it with an item, we could then redirect to the other Meepo using Assassin's Veil, which lets you choose your combat target. I think as it is, he's going to use his initiative to proof this one away. This Meepo that's dying. Yep, there
I
he
think
goes.
it's time to move along.
Alright, so he's going to spray some damage over there and escape. The other Meepo has poof also, so we need to do this. We need to do this now. And see if we can use Assassin's Veil to still try and kill that Meepo. We have a Stars Align. We could also put a... Well, I was going to say we put a Savage Wolf down, but that's not
Anytime soon.
Okay, there's the Veil.
Oh, I like this.
And there's that ring. So we have to do this in 2 parts, is what that means. So first of all, we got to put this damage on him with the Assassin's Veil for 6. Oh, we're going to do it this way first. The order that we do this play in probably doesn't matter, because the other guy doesn't have any of the gold border cards, so we know he doesn't have any items that he could use to potentially protect anymore. And all of his heroes are silent, so he's not actually able to do anything at the moment. Okay, so we're curving him in. We're using the Stars Align mana to cast this Wolf, and that gives us the damage we need. I think Roseleaf would have been the creep to use there, though, because it has 2 attack.
I make this look easy.
You only need 3. It gets 1 more from the Drought Aura, and it doesn't die in that situation. So you can save that Wolf to use somewhere else. Okay. Middle lane continues to have nothing going on for us, and we're very much in control of this right lane. So this should be lethal on the right. And we just gotta find another lane to push. Actually contesting all 3 lanes to a degree. We do have to watch out. He has Luna, so he will have some Eclipse in his deck, which is a really good way to clear boards. He doesn't have too many counters on it because he's been killing that Luna. Every time Luna is in play, you get an Eclipse counter, and that buffs up her signature card. The more she's dead, the better. There is the Rosary in this lane, which overkills lethal a little bit. I'm thinking the plan is... Oh, okay. So we had another concede. Interesting. Neither of those games was lost. Look, I love watching Goal 1860 do well. He's a good guy. You should support Artifact.game community because he's a good guy. I could watch him win all day. But if I need to find a lesson in this particular video, it would be actually from what our opponent was showing us, and that was a tendency to concede pretty early. None of those games were anywhere close to loss, and I actually would have characterized I wouldn't even characterize us as ahead by any significant degree in either game. Artifact usually comes down to the wire, and you're never out of it. There's a built-in rubber band sort of effect where if you lose a lot of your heroes, you have a big power play coming 2 turns later when they're all coming back in from the fountain. In the example of the game we just played, the guy had 4 Meepos that he could just deploy in his next turn. And we didn't have many combat tricks to deal with that because we're mono green. I mean, if he can keep those 4 meeples alive, even for a turn, he can get a lot of work done. So, when you're in your games of Artifact, doesn't feel like it's going that well, remember what your deck does. Remember that it's never over. And keep playing. But for all that, I'm glad I could cast a couple wins for our boy Goal 1860. This has been Nestico on behalf of the Artifact.game community. We'll see you around.